everyone. I'm Symphony Privet. Thank you for joining us here on Featured. We hope to inspire or simply make you smile with uplifting stories across the country. Kids in Texas are learning some valuable life lessons while growing fresh fruits and vegetables for their community. Randall Case has more about how one woman is cultivating hope through gardening.
Today was our Dirty event, which stands for Doing It Right Through Youth. It's open April through October, third Saturday of every month. It's geared towards the kids, so we want them to understand the process of planting a seed, watching it grow, turning it into a food source, so they can relate where that comes from.
Go over here, we're going to water right here.
It tastes different. And so when they try it out here, most of the time that's when they will start eating it at home rather than when you buy it at the grocery store and you stick it in front of them, just like with my kids. They don't want to eat it out of the grocery store, but they'll try it in the garden. We don't use chemicals out here, so as it's growing, okra, any of it, as it's growing, strawberries, they pluck it and they eat it. So when they come out here and they're learning and they're exploring and they're seeing how their garden is growing, because all this is from them. They plant the seeds, they plant the seedlings, they do it all. Then they take care of it. When you put a seed in the ground and it's covered by dirt and you water it, that's one thing. But when you come back out here and all of a sudden you see your watermelon plants coming up or your basil plants coming up, then all of a sudden it becomes real for them. They realize, oh, this is growing, and it's exciting and it's addictive, because then they want to start a garden at home, and we love that. The idea behind Growing Garden Cities is that we want to give everyone the opportunity to understand what it is to grow your own food. But we make it accessible, so it's fully accessible. You know, if you're in a wheelchair, we got a place for you. It's a lot of fun, and there's a lot of kids out here that I can tell you, they teach a lot of the adults that step out here. So they retain it. We want to make sure everybody understands the process from beginning to end and what happens in between.
That was Randall Case reporting from Texas. That is so awesome. I bet those little ones out there will remember their experiences out at the garden there and hopefully carry it with them into adulthood. And sticking with food here, a food pantry in Georgia is expanding with a new building to serve more people in need. Madison Ricks shows us how the new home will allow the pantry to do even more.
Corn, green beans, and rice, food sitting on the shelves waiting for people to grab a cart and go.
It's such a good, warm feeling that you get when you know you're helping people. When people smile and say thank you.
To go shopping for food, they wait hours in line for. And Dorothy Stevens says it might look empty now, but when they're open, nearly 150 people are getting fed.
People get here around 7 o'clock in the morning so they could get in line, be the first, get a number. So they're here early. They're here before we get here, simply because they need the food.
Tabitha Bass is one of them. She says having a resource close to home helps her feed her family.
With the economy and the way everything is going, it's very resourceful that you can come through and pick up the items that are needed. And once you get the items, you're able to go home and make what do.
In the past, they had a big challenge, their building. Having access to food was never the issue, but the building itself. In the former location, it had a leaking roof and even no AC. But now people are able to come in and pick up what they need in a more safer and comfortable area. This new facility at the former Board of Education building can hold more people, air conditioning with a working roof.
People that are picking up food, they feel better because they can sit in a comfortable place. It's not raining. There's no water on the floor. So being in this building it's great. It's fantastic. I mean, everybody loving it.
Reporting in Tennille, Madison Ricks.
A woman in Iowa fires up her kitchen every week to help feed people who need a hearty home-cooked meal. Devin Brooks shares her story.
At Jacqueline Williams' Davenport house, faith and family are everything.
We just love doing things for people.
And Jacqueline treats others just like family.
That's my joy.
The 81-year-old opens her doors and cooks a free Sunday dinner every week at home for anyone who lacks food. She also goes out of her way to feed the homeless once a month.
Being a child of God, we know that that's what we're supposed to do, is is take care of those that are in need. Because any day it can be in one of us.
This all while being the matriarch for 4 generations, including 5 kids, 17 grandchildren, 32 great-grandchildren, and several nieces and nephews.
We've never been hungry, so we don't know what it is. We want them to know that God sees them, He loves them, and He has let us be instruments for Him to help them lift them up.
And be full off of deliveries like this one taken to a man living on the streets.
Look, you got ribs, baked beans, and cake.
He did not want to be interviewed, but told us he's grateful for a hot meal.
We just want people to know that there is someone looking out for them.
You want some beans?
Jacqueline says she always prepares just enough to dish out many options.
Mom, do you know the whip?
Her message:
All of us have had some kind of trials and tribulations along the way. Have faith. Keep your hope.
for someone most consider a first-class chef and community treasure, turning empty plates into full hearts. In Davenport, Devin Brooks.
Jacqueline's husband also helps her out with the cooking. They've partnered with a nonprofit for the past few years to fund the meals and keep the delicious food going. I love that. Nothing like a good, hearty, home-cooked meal to literally fill your stomach and lift your spirits. And we are taking a special look now at the history of Minnesota. We're going to a part of the state's historical society that is not open to the public. Boyd Hubert takes us behind the scenes for a unique glimpse at some history in hiding.
The history you can see lives upstairs at the Minnesota History Center, but what you don't often see lives in the basement.
I'm Dr. Angelica Meyer, curator of the 3D Objects Collection at the Minnesota Historical Society.
The basement is where they keep the things not currently on public display.
I have 250,000 items in the 3D Objects Collection.
Things
So we have a really amazing silverware collection.
with stories.
Here we're looking at a belt with a belt buckle on here, and it's a little bit flattened here. And it's flattened there because this grape shot hit this soldier right in his belt buckle.
Minnesotan William Pace's belt buckle.
This belt buckle saved his life. Take this out.
Here's another.
This is the first electoral ballot that was cast in Minnesota.
1860, brand new state. Elector Stephen Miller cast his vote.
For President Abraham Lincoln of Illinois.
Stories of immigrants who arrived with trunks
We can see Swedish American line.
and
We've got his name here.
their humanity.
He started here as Beautiful Jay, Niles, and then, uh-oh, I'm running out of space.
Who today can't relate?
Right? When you address an envelope to someone.
I am Dr. Katie Mollerud, the Curator of Archaeology at the Minnesota Historical Society.
Lots of stories
I am responsible for about 2.25 million archaeological objects.
with which we can relate.
There was a total of 17 brass kettles.
17 kettles recovered by underwater archaeologists in the rapids of the Boundary Waters canoe area, where a voyager who'd planned to trade them with Native Americans for furs instead capsized his canoe.
This was a huge loss, a huge economic loss.
But these basement stories are not just about our foibles.
Just beautiful craftsmanship.
Leaded glass, quarter-sawn oak, mission-style hutch.
This was donated to us by Bertie Craft in the 1980s.
That's Bertie Craft as a student at Minneapolis North High, where she built it.
Yes.
What?
Yes, in 1915.
Beautiful stories.
These are examples of Hmong textiles.
Because art lives in the basement, too.
My name is Chloe Cashman. I'm the program specialist for the Native American Artists in Residence program. This is the nettle before it's turned into cordage.
Nettles, as in itchy and scratchy, till dried and repurposed by artist Fern Renville and her students to recreate a traditional Native American fishing net.
Those are the sinkers, and then the floats are right here.
Those women's suffrage banners, the same originals, are here in the basement, too.
So this says, Mother is the best ever, but not good enough to vote.
Stories of triumph.
Into deep left center from Mitchell, and we'll see you tomorrow night.
Kirby Puckett
There he is.
wore it in the '91 World Series.
Yeah.
There has been a bridge collapse.
and stories of tragedy.
This is a piece from the I-35W bridge.
Stories that make us sad
This is an iron lung.
and jolly.
All right.
But only one that can be the story most requested.
Prince's purple rain costume. The jacket is made out of a purple moire silk. You can sort of see it's almost like waves.
All the stories living here
This was what Prince wanted to give.
in Minnesota's
This is another storage area.
basement.
As you can tell, a lot of open shelving here. So this is more like medium-sized objects.
Boyd Hubert.
Coming up, a disabled Marines farm is helping feed thousands of families. How his 1 acre is making a big difference. And there's a new free soccer program for underserved kids in Buffalo that helps them both on and off the field. We'll introduce you to the former refugee who started it. Welcome back. A disabled Marines farm in California is helping feed thousands of San Diego families. Abby Black shows us how his 1 acre is making a big difference.
Here at Papa Joe Farm in Hamul, he's doing more than planting nutrition, he's planting hope. Some of his harvest travels from the veterans' land directly to the San Diego Food Bank, feeding families across the region.
We have about 50 chickens. Yesterday we got 29 eggs, so we get anywhere from 20 to 30 eggs a day.
As Papa Joe Silva walks his 1 acre farm, canes in hand, you see how deeply rooted farming is in his family.
We have over 250 years of legacy farming in our family.
Now retired, the disabled U.S. Marine brought regenerative farming techniques home from tours in Japan and Korea and a mission to feed his community.
You know, there's a discipline and a commitment that you have to understand that the Marine Corps instilled in you, and honor.
That mission runs through the Food Bank's Farm to Food Bank program, connecting roughly 30 local farms through Food Shed Cooperative to put fresh, local produce on the tables of families in need, much of it funded through grants.
And we supply San Diego Food Bank currently with 575 boxes of produce, and the produce is a mixture of vegetables and fruits.
On an annual basis, that's over 300,000 pounds.
Which is remarkable.
But this year, Papa Joe's 20-foot by 80-foot hand-built cattle panel tunnels sit empty. His disability from an injury in Korea is slowing the pace.
When you're Marine Corps, you have the Marine Corps mentality, you know, and go, go, go. But sometimes your body says, hold on, slow down.
But he has a community to feed, and the San Diego Food Bank says what comes from farms like Papa Joe's makes a difference.
So that local produce is hyper fresh, it's produced here locally, a lot of times using organic practices. So not only is it benefiting our neighbors, providing them that nutritious food, but also benefiting the soil health of our local communities. It really takes a community to feed a community.
These are peaches here.
For Papa Joe, his disability may have slowed him down, but not his commitment to community.
It means family.
That was Abby Black reporting from California, and that is so awesome that he's using the skills he learned years ago to help his community in the present time. Plus, who doesn't love fresh produce from your neighbor if you can get it? All right, up next here, millions of young soccer players dream about what is possible on the field. But in Buffalo, one former refugee is using the World's Game to help hundreds of kids build confidence, community, and brighter futures. Here's Melissa Holmes.
Good, control it.
For Owesu Noor, soccer was his lifeline.
Is what I'm really trying to build here for these kids who might not have that same opportunity that I had growing up. Go left wing.
The founder of Beyond Border Athletics arrived in Buffalo from Kenya when he was 7 years old. He faced language barriers, culture shock, and the challenge of starting over. But mentors, coaches, and teachers helped him find his footing, and now he's creating that same support system for the next generation.
The growth of the whole Beyond Borders Athletics, I'd say it's inspired by my background. It's inspired by the people that invested in me, and also now looking to create that same village, the same community for the kids that I'm serving currently.
In just 6 months, Beyond Border Athletics has grown to serve more than 200 young people from over 35 schools across Buffalo, using sports, academics, and mentorship to help refugee, immigrant, and underserved youth thrive.
Coach Owesu, he's really funny, and he's kind, and he's so motivational. He's a great coach, so he's my favorite coach. He wants us to do better for ourselves and like for our future. Good job, well done.
The program remains completely free for families, thanks in part to community support. Just this month, the Greater Buffalo Sports Hall of Fame awarded Beyond Border Athletics a $1,000 grant that OWASO will use to buy jerseys.
I was very excited to receive that. The kids really appreciate it when they get the chance to wear a jersey. Being able to put it on represents a lot for them. Good job, Ron, look up.
For many of the athletes, OWASO has become much more than a coach.
He had me go to a college showcase, which that was my first ever one. He tells us like every single day he can get us places, we just gotta work for it. And that's what I'm doing.
You guys do that?
OWASO says his goal isn't necessarily for the kids to win on the field. It's to teach them how to succeed off of it.
If you work hard, you do the best you can do, and you have a community that's behind you, backing you, and supporting you, you're able to essentially achieve anything.
That was Melissa Holmes reporting from Buffalo. By day, the man who runs the team works in business development for an insurance company. He is also a husband and a father of 3 young children. He runs Beyond Border Athletics completely as a volunteer. That is incredible. Coming up after this break, for one hockey player, it is the fight of his life and the fight to get back on the ice. We'll show you how he's working toward a rink return. And still ahead, Champions of Hope. See how a group of veterans is giving new life to a forgotten Navy ship. The captain of the minor league hockey team in Connecticut suffered a stroke right in the middle of the season, and now he is making strides both on and off the ice in hopes to make a return to the rink. Here's Jim Altman.
Whatever challenges Johnny has faced on the ice, it doesn't compare to what's happened off of it. Our story starts in Danbury. There is lacing up in the locker room. There are sticks set to go. And a largely empty Danbury ice arena is stirring again.
It's definitely amazing. Been missing it.
How do you set goals? Well, Johnny has plenty of them.
Just trying to get back to the feel again.
Because just getting back in the game has been among his greatest wins. Playing for the Danbury Hat Tricks, essentially hockey's backwater. The captain, Johnny Ruiz, has been front and center.
I have good days, bad days, but mainly it's been a lot better.
A veteran standout in the sport's minor leagues. This year, Johnny's biggest battle was off the ice.
Speech was a struggle.
Far removed from the rink.
I remember confused, my head was pounding, didn't really understand much. I couldn't find my arm. I kept disappearing my arm. And then it's just a blur from there, really.
With his fiancée away at work, he was home with his 2 young children. Johnny suffered a stroke.
They don't really understand why it happened. They don't have answers. I think it was 10 days here in Danbury, and then transferred over to Gaylord Hospital, and was there for another 13 days or so.
It was Gaylord Hospital in Wallingford, where Johnny began a new journey.
I got better each day, and I think all the therapy with whether it's speech, whether it's occupational, they were challenging, but it really helped. When I was in the hospital, it was during the Olympics, so I was watching a lot of hockey. My teammates were playing still during the season, so I was watching every game. I needed the hockey to help me get through it all.
Kaylee Syka is Johnny's speech-language pathologist.
So his major challenge was with language processing. We call that aphasia. So he was able to kind of have thoughts in his head. He knew what he wanted to say, but he couldn't physically get the words out. He was super motivated, and he's really a testament to neuroplasticity and how we can recover after strokes.
So for the centerman, are there more face-offs in his future?
It would be a tremendous story to be able to see Johnny back on the ice next season. I think that's what we're all hoping and praying for. It's up to the doctors, so we can only do so much, but when you're a hockey person, it sticks with you forever.
Finding a balance? That's been the challenge. Finding a balance on a 3mm wide blade, that's been a milestone. So there's a bigger goal here, John.
What's the goal? Play again, be with the hat tricks and lace up the skates in this arena.
You want to do this for real again?
Yes, one more time. We all rally around him. I mean, he's the heartbeat of the team. With this guy's work ethic, he'll make it happen. If he puts his mind to it, he'll get back out there. The smell of the fumes of the Zamboni, the sound of your skates hitting the ice, crunching on the ice, shooting the pucks again, hitting the net. It feels good again. Life is pretty much, it's precious. You never know when your last shift is, your last game will be. Really just believe in yourself.
In Danbury, Connecticut, Jim Altman for Featured.
It's about more than a game. How a baseball league in Florida is helping every player feel included. Plus, a unique puppy raising program is based in Ohio prisons, and we'll show you a recent graduate of the program and how it is changing more than just the dog's life. Thank you for staying with us on Featured. I'm Symphony Privet. We are continuing to bring you uplifting stories across the country. Buddy Baseball is a league of volunteers and players with special needs, with ages ranging from 8 to 22. Annie Krall introduces us to the families making it their turn to play.
One, two, three.
Buddy Baseball!
This is what a typical Saturday looks like for Buddy Baseball's 160 players, their buddies, and families across the Tampa Bay area.
It also allows the kids who are buddies to be able to interact with other kids, who may not be the same as they are, but to be able to experience what they experience in life and realize, hey, they're just another kid that wants to have fun like me.
Like Jeff Ennis's 11-year-old son, Connor, the incoming 7th grader describes his older brother, Liam, as
he's funny. He is very passionate about things he likes to do,
such as hitting it out of the park. And so when you're in the batter's box, what goes through your head, or maybe running around the bases, what are you thinking about?
I'm thinking about just getting a home run.
Since he started playing in 2023, Liam's loved first base. Okay, why? That's a big deal. That's a very big position.
Because I just go out first and bat.
And I feel like I just am there to help them out and just keep them on track.
Whether he's just, a naturally kind kid or, whether this has helped him get that, it's helped him evolve to be more of a caring person.
Finds out that ordinary people can do extraordinary things.
It's tough whenever you have a child who has some difficulties, disabilities, to have them feel included in normal sports. Sometimes they get left behind. Sometimes they get picked last.
For the Ennis family, reflecting on the United States' 250th anniversary, they can't help but bring America's pastime into the conversation.
I wish that a lot of the division that's in our country nowadays, we could break those walls down and everybody come together.
Buddy Baseball!
Buddy Baseball is an example of how you can do that and break down, walls, whether it be political, whether it be economic, whether it be physical abilities.
I can't change the world for everybody, but I can change the world for that one person. If you have a lot of people doing that, it makes a big difference.
Annie Krall.
A Navy ship once sat abandoned, stripped, and nearly forgotten. Well, now one man, alongside a team of veterans, is bringing it back to life. Alex Bell shows us how this effort is personal.
Step aboard the USS Lucid, and you're stepping into a ship that nearly disappeared forever.
This level here is the lowest, but as we go up, they get higher. This is the captain's cabin. Rank has its privileges. And one thing we have around the ship is we have before pictures. That explains why we've been working on it here for 14 years.
What was once a stripped, abandoned ship is slowly being rebuilt room by room, using original blueprints discovered in Stockton.
This is exactly what it would have looked like when it was in Navy service.
For David, that level of detail has taken more than a decade and a small army of volunteers.
When we started, There was a lot of damage to the ship because the ship was more or less abandoned for 25 years out in the Delta. It was just being stripped of all the metal parts off of it. They had a hot tub in it. It was a real mess.
The USS Lucid was one of more than 100 non-magnetic minesweepers built in the early 1950s, a class designed for one of the Navy's most dangerous missions.
101 of these were built all concurrently in the early 1950s in an emergency shipbuilding program. This is the last one left in the United States.
Today, much of that restoration is made possible by veterans. David said the ship was used in Vietnam to stop weapons smuggling. Today, veterans, many who served on ships like it, are volunteering to bring the USS Lucid back to life.
I got out of the Navy, I didn't want to see any gray ships. I want to have painting any gray. I've been here 15 years.
It's a cool way to preserve history. All these guys are still with us.
Now their network is growing and getting support from Congress.
I jumped at the opportunity to have any chance to help. This really represents the best of what Stockton is. There are so many veterans who remember what it was like when Stockton was one of the world shipbuilding capitals back in the World War II era.
A Sacramento San Joaquin Delta Conservancy grant is helping move the project toward full site development.
So this was Morse code, and they used a teletype machine to transmit messages.
One day, David hopes to move the ship to downtown Stockton's historic waterfront. They're currently working with the city on a future public museum and educational space.
I mean, in a perfect world, we could be down there in 3 or 4 years, open to the public. We hope to have all those 3 projects done by summer of 27. They could see the sacrifice our service members make. They lived in tight quarters. They were working 24/7.
The USS Lucid is still a work in progress, but for David, the veterans helping him, and the volunteers, it's already something more. A floating classroom, a living museum, and a 14-year labor of love still underway.
That was Alex Bell reporting from California. One puppy on their journey toward becoming a highly trained service dog is a first for the Cleveland area. Monica Robbins brings us the story of Mojo, whose unique path to graduation has prepared him for a very important new role. Take a look.
Christy, you may now pass the leash off to Carrie and Kayla.
More than 18 months of training, learning, and growth led to this moment. At Canine Companion's most recent graduation ceremony, leashes are passed from raisers to new handlers. It's a day of new beginnings and big emotions.
So excited. I mean, it's like having a child that, kind of comes up through. It's been wonderful.
For one dog, the journey looked a little different. Mojo spent much of his puppy raising at Southeastern Correctional Institution in Lancaster. There, incarcerated handlers helped with his early training, socialization, and development.
These dogs are fantastic because the incarcerated gentlemen who are raising them in the prison have so much time and love and focus that they're able to spend on the dogs.
Canine Companions is no stranger to prison training programs, but Southeastern Correctional is the first time they've used one in Ohio, and it's vital. By pairing puppies with inmates, it can shorten Canine Companions' years-long wait list for clients, while also helping inmates who are rehabilitating.
These gentlemen are very, very carefully selected, and it's a privilege, and they recognize that. It's why we've got a waiting list of so many other individuals who want to be involved at the prison.
After advanced training at the North Central Training Center, Mojo became the first dog from the region's prison puppy raising program to graduate, and he's already at work in Kansas at the Lyon County Prosecutor's Office.
They did handpick the best dog for us. He is so laid back, so chill, and that's exactly what we need in those settings at the Child Advocacy Center in our office. And our ultimate goal would be for him to be able to be in court with some of our victims while they testify, and that's the dog we need.
From puppy raisers to prison handlers and professional trainers, many people helped shape Mojo's journey. Now, he's helping navigate some of the toughest moments of theirs. Monica Robbins.
A 7-year-old in Florida is continuing his recovery after a serious electric bike crash. After an outpouring of support from the community, the family got a special message from an NFL superstar. Here's Christina Burgess with the story.
People at home want to know, how are you?
Real good.
A simple answer from 7-year-old Saquon Wilson. still recovering from a devastating electric bike crash from back in May that left him with a serious head injury.
We have been getting great feedback from the doctors and from Saquon. He has been recovering really good and feeling real good.
His community rallied around him, showing their support, from his football team to his neighbors and even strangers. But one familiar face stood out.
What's up, Saquon? Saquon Barkley here. Got to hear your story. Just want to let you know that I'm thinking about you and praying for you. And just want to wish you the best of luck on this recovery. I know the process might be hard, but just know if you believe in God and have all the right people around you, which I believe you do, that's going to make everything a little bit better. And also we got a little gift sent to you, and I hope you enjoy. Much love.
Saquon's story caught the attention of his favorite player and the person he's named after. How did it make you feel to see what he told you and see the gifts they gave you?
Happy.
What was your favorite gift that Saquon sent you?
A Eagles cover.
An Eagles cover?
And a football sign. What gloves.
Nice.
Keychain. His mom says his love for football and his favorite player runs deep.
My older kids named him Saquon, but they found the name Saquon after Saquon Barkley. He plays a big part in the house. Saquon wants to be just like Saquon Barkley.
A surprise like this turned a tough time into something unforgettable.
I was super excited for my baby because you never know who's watching. He lightened our house up that day. The moment, it was crazy. We know that it's not every day that something like this happens.
Thank you, Saquon Barkley. Thank you for paying for me.
All right.
Oh my goodness, that was incredible. That was Christina Burgess reporting from Florida. Now, Saquon says he hopes, little Saquon here, he hopes to get back on the football field soon and one day play in the NFL just like his favorite player, Big Saquon. Now, his family says they are holding on to another dream that maybe one day he'll get to meet Saquon Barkley in person. So I'm hopeful they can make that connection in the future, and we'll get an update on video of the two of them coming together face to face. I just know that little video, that short video that Saquon sent the young one, just made his entire year. Cannot wait to see what's in store for that young man. All right, still ahead, the Transplant Games in Atlanta is focused on second chances. We'll show you how it is changing lives in a very impactful way. And a San Diego man has put more than 2,000 guitars into the hands of local students. The story behind the Music Mission. The Transplant Games bring together organ recipients, living donors, and donor families from across the country to celebrate second chances and show what's possible after a transplant. It has all the markings of a major sporting event, opening ceremonies, athletes from every state, and plenty of competition. But for many of these athletes, simply making it to the starting line is already a victory. Caitlin Ross explains how the competition is inspiring hope.
19 years after receiving a heart transplant, Dick Ford is still finding new reasons to celebrate life.
I never had a lot of emotion, but after the heart transplant, now I cry at movies. So.
Now he's taking that gratitude to the Transplant Games, where recipients and living donors from across the country compete in everything from swimming to ballroom dancing.
My first game, I saw a 3-year-old kidney recipient, and he was bowling.
The games showcase what's possible after transplant, giving newly transplanted patients something many of them desperately need, a glimpse of the future.
And we tell them, well, we just got back from the Olympics, and they're saying, well, I was hoping I could walk to the mailbox, you know. So it gives them hope.
For many athletes, the medals matter far less than the message. Every race, every match, and every finish line is proof of how far they've come.
You can do anything that you put your mind to because it's a mind thing. You know, you got to think positive at all times.
Don't give up. Don't give up. There's people out there to support you.
And while the athletes are the ones competing, organizers say the games are also a tribute to the people who made their second chance possible.
That's a big part of what we do is promoting organ donation, because without donors, we wouldn't be here.
That is right. That's Caitlin Ross reporting from Atlanta. And the participants say the event is about highlighting organ donation and how every gift saves a life. And for many of us who are old enough to have a driver's license, it's a simple question you can complete on the form, but I have a feeling a lot of folks don't really think about the impact of that decision and how one small checkbox can help make a life-changing moment for another person in need. Well, one man in San Diego has put more than 2,000 guitars into the hands of students. Jeff Zevely shares the story behind the mission.
What's cooler than a guitar? How about the guy who's given away more than 2,000 of these instruments to children? Since the early 90s,
those words touch me much too deeply.
Artists like Jewel started teaming up with San Diego's music scene to put guitars into the hands of children.
I don't know how I've lasted 35 years.
Kevin Hellman is the founder of the San Diego Music Foundation, who collaborates with Bob Taylor from Taylor Guitars.
This was really Bob's idea. He always credits me. It came through Taylor Guitars, and we've taken it and run with it.
The San Diego Music Awards is a major fundraiser. Ooh, let's hear it for Sean Stiles.
Oh my Jeff.
Sean and I help pass out awards, but it's Kevin's commitment that makes it all happen.
I don't know where the guy gets the energy and the time to do everything that he does.
Longtime radio DJ Rick Lawrence is the event's announcer.
They didn't have programs like this when I was in school. And I wish they did. That would have been amazing to have someone just put a guitar in my hands and say, here, we're going to teach you how to play this guitar.
The foundation just passed a major milestone, raising a total of $1 million. So Kevin must be rich, right?
I don't make a penny.
Instead, he's found joy putting more than 2,000 guitars into 131 schools.
Here's the man right here, the hour.
Here at Humphreys Concerts by the Bay, a long line of people who helped raise that $1 million.
Holy moly!
I think it's outstanding.
Kevin is extraordinary.
Man, that guy's heart's always been in the best place. Steve Poltz, who received the event's Lifetime Achievement Award, knows all about the power of music.
That guitar can hold a whole future. It can be your best friend. It can lead you wherever you want to go.
Budget cuts have decimated music programs, which is why Kevin's contributions mean so much.
You know what he would say? It's not about him. It's about us. It's about San Diego.
Radio DJ Robin Roth applauds Kevin's humility and leadership.
Who else is going to do it? Who else is going to take that lead? It's got to be someone from San Diego, someone that really cares about the kids.
Playing a guitar is cool, but so is the man behind the curtain.
We're good to go, guys.
Pulling all of the strings.
I'm not one of the coolest guys in San Diego. I just like throwing parties and, having a good time raising money for a cause.
In the Zevely Zone,
I'm just a humble little guy that enjoys what he does.
Jeff Zevely.
That was awesome. Okay, coming up after this break, from the NBA Finals to small-town mayor? Yeah, hear from a former basketball star about his decision to take charge in his community. Welcome back. After more than a decade in the NBA, Greg Ostertag put down roots in a small town in Texas, and he's become a towering figure in the community, literally and figuratively. And as Sean Giggy shows us now, he's taking on a new challenge, serving as mayor.
To most people, Mount Vernon was just another dot on the map. Until about a decade ago, when something big came to town.
He stands out wherever he is. Think of the size of this man.
He's just a normal guy who happens to be 7'2".
I'll see you. I'm just saying hi.
Greg Ostertag won a state championship at Duncanville.
The baseline for Ostertag.
Reached the Final Four at Kansas and twice faced Michael Jordan's Bulls in the NBA Finals. But perhaps his most unlikely victory came just a couple months ago when he was elected mayor.
Have you gotten used to that chair?
No, it's too small.
Of Mount Vernon.
The desk hits my knees.
How on earth did he end up here?
It's just one of those questions I ask myself every day. People are like, hey, Mayor, I'm like, look, it's just Greg.
This is it right here. And then,
At 7'2".
so if I scoot in, they hit.
Greg is likely the tallest elected official in the world.
Just so you know, guys.
Size was the reason he played 11 seasons in the NBA, but throughout his career, he had another dream. Very few ever knew about.
I want land and animals, and that's what I want. And so I got it. You want a cookie? How about a Gatorade? I got a little bit left.
About 10 years ago,
Everybody likes cookies out here.
Greg got his wish.
Some people's happy place is a beach. Here it is. Come on, come on, Greg, come on.
But beyond this patch of paradise, Greg says the heart of Mount Vernon was on life support.
This was a shithole. It really was. Just there was nothing here.
So Greg and his wife bought a couple buildings, including Tag's Sports Bar, and fixed them up. Soon, others followed suit.
Yes!
And today, Greg says that dying downtown has roared back to life.
For lack of a better word, it's a bustling little town. Oh, for high school fishing?
Unsurprisingly, the community looks up to him.
Who's running it this year?
But Greg didn't know how much until earlier this year.
They just started asking me, would you run for mayor? I was like, I said, no. I hate politicians. They may be more crooked than NBA referees.
He eventually relented.
It's not really that much of a move. I don't even have an office.
And about a month ago, Mount Vernon's new mayor
I go over here to ask questions.
Moved from his restaurant to City Hall. It's an unpaid volunteer position, but one he's invested in.
For me, it's going to be consistency, being consistent.
Of course, no politician
You have the coolest cars.
is universally loved.
See you, buddy. Have a go, Mark.
Jordan in the lane for the slam. You just got posterized.
But Greg says he's uniquely prepared.
Michael Jordan at his best.
I was a hero and a zero in a matter of 24 hours a lot of times.
Ostertag goes on Shaq. Shaq knocks the ball away. Ostertag completely out of control.
While playing in the biggest arenas,
He just threw him out.
he dreamed of this small town life.
That's my girl.
Now, his dream is to make Mount Vernon not just another dot on the map,
All right, you want a cookie?
but a place worth visiting.
That's my happy place.
Fire down the middle to Keith. Cross-court tag. Slam dunk.
And if he can get it there, the next mayor will certainly have big shoes to fill.
We're 18. Mikey, what's up, buddy? How are you?
What's going on, Ostertag?
Good.
Ostertag, 21 points, 15 rebounds.
In Mount Vernon,
And is getting a standing ovation.
I'm Sean Giggy.
That is so awesome to see. He lived his professional hoop dreams out, and he got his plot of land somewhere in Texas to leave a lasting impact on the community there. All right, that is it for this episode of Featured. Until next time, make it a great one.